I'd like to apologize this review didn't come out right when the movie came out, as I was very busy, specifically getting Halloween Horror Movies 2023 ready. So once again, my apologies, but hey, you know what? Better late than never. So Saw X is the 10th Saw film. Let me repeat that. The 10th Saw film of the franchise. But in chronological order, this actually takes place between the events of Saw 1 and 2. And in the events of Saw X, we actually follow John Kramer, portrayed by Tobin Bell, who finds out of an experimental surgery to get rid of his cancer. However, after this surgery takes place, he discovers that it is nothing more than a scam. So as a result, as y'all can imagine, Jigsaw comes out and he goes after these scam artists with a bloody vengeance. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Saw X.
Excellent!
For those of you who have known me for a long time, you all know that I am not really a Saw fan. I mean, besides the first one, which I think is really quite good, and Saw 2, which I actually thought was pretty decent, I know that this fan base is absolutely huge, and I know that people look at it as one of the greatest horror franchises of all time. And that brings me to my other thing as to why I'm not particularly a big fan of Saw. I never looked at Saw as a horror franchise. I know that a lot of people aren't really scared of these films, as they only really go to them to see, okay, what's the next big trap going to be? And really because of that, Saw was just never a franchise that I never really got into. If you guys remember correctly, when it came to my review of Spiral, you all know that I really disliked Spiral. As y'all can imagine, when I heard there was gonna be a 10th Saw film, I just kept thinking, God, please, no. Why? But then, I had heard positive praise coming out of this movie, and I just kept thinking, a Saw film getting good reviews? Interesting. I saw this film the Monday after it came out. I went with my girlfriend, who is actually a big Saw fan. After this movie ended, I turned to her and I said these words. I really liked that movie. There's only one performance I gotta talk about, and that's Tobin Bell as John Kramer. Tobin Bell is really good in this film. There is a great scene in this movie in which, after he confronts the scammers about how they've done certain things, and god dang, Tobin Bell really let it out in a certain sequence, and I just went like, that was really good right there. Even though the Jigsaw Killer is, well, you know, a villain, it actually made me sympathize for a killer. With a great performance from Tobin Bell, you got yourself one heck of a movie right there, a better movie that has any right to be. The thing that I liked the most about Saw X was this: the storytelling and the direction that Saw X took. Ever since I saw Saw 1, even Saw 2 for that matter, I have wanted a John Kramer centric film and a character story with some cool traps accompanying with it. And hey, it only took 10 movies, but we finally got that movie. This is a story that not only makes you feel sympathy for a killer, but it makes you root for the killer to go after the people that scam this guy out of, well, the possibility of having his cancer removed. But I also have to give credit to director Kevin Gruder, the director of, well, Saw 3D, a film that I thought was the worst one. Kevin Gruder made a John Kramer-centric film, and he makes you actually feel sympathy for a guy that just wants to feel some sort of hope, and when that hope is taken away from him once again, you actually want this guy to go after these guys. I really like that this movie went back to the visual language of the first Saw film, with the rapid cutting, the close-ups needed to emphasize the pain that the person experiencing the torture is experiencing. Something else I've been wanting ever since the first Saw film, and the second Saw film for that matter, is a Saw film that relies more on tension than gore. Although, don't get me wrong to you guys when I say this, the gore of this movie was really well handled. It was actually some pretty good practical effects in this movie. There were some sequences, especially near the end, involving John Kramer and another character, which I won't spoil for you guys, even though this movie's been out for almost a month, but still, just for the sake of not wanting to spoil a movie for you guys. There is a particular scene involving John Kramer and another person in this movie, and legitimately, I was, no joke guys, I was actually going like this. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Let's talk about the traps. How the traps this movie, there are some pretty damn cool traps. In particular, there is a trap that involves a leg. And goddamn, I know the majority of people go into these Saw films besides the traps, they all want to see what the big twist ending is. The twist ending is, it's really, really cool. Like, there is actually a part where I just went, that is genius. That's really cool.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Is Saw X without its issues? No. Saw X does have some issues. Besides Tobin Bell and besides one other character, actually two I should say, some of the other acting isn't particularly great. In particular, there's a couple of actors that when they're really trying to really go for it, all they're really doing is just overcooking it. I mean, they are overcooking it to the point where I was just going like, just stop while you're ahead. You're not doing great. Just, it's okay. You can sit down now. You can sit down now. It's okay. The opening trap was awesome. There's a trap involving a leg, which I thought was very, very cool. There's a trap involving two characters, which I thought was really suspenseful. There's one particular trap that was really cool in concept, and how it was playing out was really, really interesting. But the ending to this trap was really, really unsatisfying. The last thing that I must talk about is the twist. Now, don't get me wrong too, guys. The overall gist of the twist, like the overall thing coming together and seeing the overall thing was really cool. But there are other threads within this twist that legitimately do not make any sense. There is a particular thread, and I mean this is a very important thread, that literally relies on a specific character being there at a specific time, at a specific place. And if it wasn't for this character being in there, this twist would not have worked. This particular part of the twist requires a huge leap of faith, and it's not just this thread, by the way. There's definitely a couple of other threads that rely on a big leap of faith for the twist to actually work, and a couple of those leaps of faith just didn't quite make any sense.
And here we go.
So overall, in a year full of surprises, and as a non-Saw fan, Saw X is another big surprise. This is the Saw film that I've been wanting since Saw 2. A character-driven Saw film that focuses on John Kramer, that features a great performance from Tobin Bell. But this movie also features some interesting traps, but on top of everything else, it takes a series back to relying on tension rather than gore. All in all, I'm gonna give Saw X a 3.5 out of 5. If you haven't seen Saw X, and if you're a big Saw fan, check it out immediately. And even more so, if you're a non-Saw fan like me, check out this movie, guys. You just might like it too. So comment down below and let me know. And I know I already asked you guys this earlier on, but I want to ask you guys this again. What is your biggest surprise of 2023? Because seriously, they just keep coming. Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'm also on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the users' names are in the description below. I hope you enjoyed my review of Saw X. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell for when the latest review goes live. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click right there or right there. And of course, if the next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.